Hello. Videos have been slowing down, I know, and becoming a little less frequent being posted because I've mentioned before that our life has kind of taken a quick and fast turn, and that I've been dealing with how to cope with that and how to deal with that. Well, I think I'm going to expound on that a little bit. I have started a new tag phrase by saying, let's start a discussion. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to start this discussion and talk for a bit about where I'm at and how I'm dealing with some things. Where we have lived for the last 10 years and called home is no longer going to be our home. Not by our choice, but by something that we had to do. Last week, we put our house up for sale with no place to go, no future plans, no job in the outlook. We have no idea, but we know we have to sell the house in order to take the next step, which is if there is a job that does come open, we won't have to wait to sell the house. I want to explain the house thing a little bit because this is my current situation that's taking the front seat. I have a lot going on right now, but this one is pretty much sitting in the driver's seat right now. I'm not a stuff person. I don't need things, but this home that I live in, we purchased 7 years ago. It was a complete disaster. It was destroyed completely. The structure was fine, but inside, the person that owned it previously just completely trashed the place. Holes in every wall, and we'll just spare you all of the lovely details. We had been looking for a year for a home, and none of them really made me feel like that's the one, but we walked into this one, and even with all of the trash and filth and smell and disaster area it looked like, we walked out and my husband said, well, what did you think? And I said, I love it. I absolutely love it. And he said, really? Yes. So we purchased this house, completely gutted it on the inside, and redid from the floor up, painted ceilings, everything. To look around, seeing it now, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't have any clue it was in such a state that it was. But it's not necessarily the house that I'm having a problem with right now. It's the home, and it's my safe area. I've always been able to feel safe in my home when life has been chaotic and I'm feeling all disheveled. I can go home to my home and know I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna feel safe. I don't feel that anymore. Getting the house ready for selling kept us busy, and I didn't have time to think about it. But when we finally got the house put on the market, it only took a couple hours, and there was someone that wanting to see it. I was okay leading up to it. I did fine. We left, they came. They were here for over an hour. Came back. I've mentioned to you before, I'm a germaphobe as well, so I instantly grabbed the sanitizing wipes and wiped every surface that they could have possibly touched. I didn't know I was going to do that. It just, as soon as I got in, that's what I felt I needed to do. It's that OCD and germ thing I've got going, and I went through the entire house. There's a 2-story house with a finished basement, and wiped surfaces, then didn't know what to do with myself, and eventually it led to a meltdown, knowing that there were people I didn't know in my home that were walking around and seeing my things, and I wasn't here. I have a hard time inviting people in anyway. I normally have people in only that I know and that I want to have in my home and that I feel safe with. It's changed. And all of a sudden, this place that I felt was safe no longer feels safe. And I had a meltdown. And then the next day I had another one because now I feel this way, but now I'm mad at myself because I feel this way. Because I hate the fact that I didn't used to be this way. This wasn't me. I was able to act fast and do quick things and not think about it and take chances and challenges, and I thrived on it. I loved it. But I can't do that anymore. And it makes me mad. It makes me frustrated because mental illness has changed me. It's created something in me that wasn't there before, and I don't like it. And it catches me unawares, and it shouldn't catch me unawares. So then I get frustrated about that. So having mental illness is not something, I've said before, that we've chosen. It's not something that we woke up in the morning and said, this is the one I'm going to pick for today. Because I'm telling you right now, that absolutely would never happen. It's something that is built up over years from my past, from when I was real little to growing up to even after being married, and the things that happened to me after that. Not in the marriage, but surrounding it. It was a process. It just didn't happen overnight, and it changed, and all of a sudden it just exploded and boiled over. And so all the things that normally people don't have a problem with, you put your house up for sale, that's a good thing because you're moving on, you're looking into the future, and you're planning, and you need your house to sell so that you can take that next step. But for me, it's a bittersweet thing. I have a hard time with this and with other things that are going on. It's causing me pause. I feel like my forward momentum has just stopped. I'm not going backwards, but I don't feel like I am moving forward right now. So that's where I'm at. Mental illness is an ugly, ugly, ugly thing. It completely transforms the people who have them. So please understand that. Please understand the person that you have known for years and years. The reason they don't look the same anymore is because they were changed by something they did not choose. Let's keep this conversation going. Ask your questions. We'll talk about topics that you want to hear about. Please let us know.